7 minutes past the hour 6. For the June 25th meeting,
May.
May
May
28th.
20th, I'm sorry.
May 28th. May 28th.
May 28th, I'm sorry.
You can jump
All right.
ahead.
Call to
Jason,
order.
hi. Come on in a minute, we're not quite ready, all right?
First order of business is to accept the minutes of 5/21/2013.
I'm all set with them, if everybody else is.
Okay, no problem.
Do I have a motion?
Make a motion to accept them.
You have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Second order is assigned purchase orders.
We don't have any tonight.
We don't have any tonight? Third order is signed Essex County retirement withdrawal for Jason Massey. So this is a form, our former employee is a desire to take out his retirement out of the retirement account, the balance of it. He's filled it out mostly, but there is 5 questions that the supervisor typically would sign or fill out this thing. He resigned, what, on 3/13, is that right, Laura?
That's right.
The last payroll he got was 3/28, so there are 5 questions. They're all kind of cut and dry. The last one there, it says, as an employee been officially investigated for or charged with misappropriation of funds, which he hasn't, from his or her employer, or convicted of any crime related to his or her office or position. I would have to check that as yes. And normally what would happen is that John Reza would sign this, and he would check into this, but since he's not here, and John is, it's unfair that John is not familiar with it, so I got a motion from the board to allow the chairman to sign.
I'll make that.
Second it?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And Tim, there's one there from Jason Nealon, he dropped off today.
Yeah, I noticed that. We're gonna talk about that in a
Okay.
minute. Jason Nealon also brought a form in. Once again, this thing needs to be filled out.
So, I called downtown and Karen Summer instructed me that the department head should fill it out. So you need to fill that out.
I don't have his account number or anything like that.
His account number?
He's gotta fill out most of this stuff here. He's
No,
gotta
the
fill-
bottom, under the department
Yeah,
head.
Yeah, but after he fills,
No, you just need to fill out the department head
it's
piece.
not complete.
That's for Essex County. We fill out our section, and then Essex County will go through the whole form. We don't even have the whole form in front of us
We don't.
tonight.
After I sign it, he could put another number in. I don't know, you know.
All right, so do you want to
Members
instruct
account
him
num-
to come back and,
Yeah, have him fill out his account number on there, his address. He's just got his name on here and social security number. And then he's gotta have his signature witnessed by somebody.
that's Essex County. They haven't gone through that section yet. Jason Massey's a little ahead of the game than.
Did Jason go down to the retirement board?
I didn't speak to him, I got that information from Debbie Egan, so
Who's Deborah Robinson?
I don't know.
Okay, so we need to, he needs to get his
Do you want-
signature on here and a witness. Now, you can witness his signature.
No, I can't, because I don't have the whole form in front of me. We just have to fill out the
I'm not gonna
department.
sign anything unless
Okay.
it's all filled out, so,
Okay,
and that's that.
all right, I'll
So
call
if he
him
fill,
up.
if he fills it out, he
Okay.
fills out everything that he's responsible for, including account numbers and all that stuff, his address, I don't wanna start looking for his address.
Okay, do you wanna fill out, or do you wanna instruct me to fill out the department heads, we'll bring it back
As
next?
soon as he fills out his portion here, I'll fill out the rest of it,
Okay, all
okay?
right, that's fine.
So, I mean, there's a lot of things here that are blank, that I don't know. I don't know any of this.
You
vital
don't
information.
need to know that, Tim?
Well, you should present a form here that's all filled out, so I don't have to go start researching this file and stuff, so.
We shouldn't fill out any of it, we should just fill out our section, is what Karen Summit instructed me today, where it says department, is it section B?
Yeah, but he still's gotta fill out his account number and stuff before I
All
sign.
right, I'll find out, I don't
Yeah.
know.
So,
All right, he'll put it back on for next week.
Yeah.
That's
that's the
all
way
right.
to handle it, because if I had his account number, I don't know his retirement account, do we have that here?
No,
Okay,
none of our business.
yeah, so I don't,
So we're just gonna fill out information that we know. Essex County will fill out stuff that they, I don't have his account number.
well,
I don't know if Debbie does.
the other gentleman was able to provide that. Maybe he got this downtown, I don't know. But the form is incomplete, so
Okay,
I'll be happy to sign it if it's all completed.
all right, we'll put it on for
Yeah.
next week.
Okay, so that takes care of that. Mr. Caffarelli's abatement?
It's right there in front of you. You approved it, just needs to be signed. And I told his wife that I would send her a letter, so I was waiting for the signed abatement.
I see these forms here. Maybe I should have signed this one. Is this the original? This one here?
Yeah, that's the original.
Okay. Okay. I better get on with this interview.
So Jason, you wanna come sit up?
Yeah, sure.
Hi, Jason, I'm Tim Toomey, I'm the
Hi,
chairman of the board. This is John
John
Hargraves, this is Stuart
Stewart.
Dalzell, right here. That's Roy Ricker.
Boy, I think I know your son Junior. Well, he's like a junior.
Okay. Where do you live, Jason?
37 Summer Street.
Oh, okay. Where do you work now?
I'm not.
Uh, So do you familiar with lawnmowers and the kind of problems with lawnmowers and what can happen with them? What, if the first thing you do when the lawnmower stops, what would you look for?
I checked the gas, the oil,
There you go.
if it was a gas oil mix.
Like those all run all day long, they'll put the stuff in.
You have a license?
Yep.
Okay, so you can drive the equipment to the sites. So the job would be, cutting the grass at our facilities, including our office here. Would be, you would be reporting to the foreman. Right now, that's Paul, he's our primary operator. And he would, give you tasks to do on a daily basis.
So I'd be seeing him most of the time.
Right. He would be overseeing you with, when Mr. Reza comes back, the superintendent, he might, get some orders there as far as where to go and what to hit today, or he'll give you a schedule and stuff like that. And then we gotta be very careful about, using gasoline around our wellheads and things of that nature, so we gotta be careful we don't spill anything like that.
Yeah, and I just saw that thing in the paper. I ran into Jason Neal from time to time.
Yeah,
Couldn't believe it.
yeah.
You notice in the thing I got from Debbie, he hasn't provided any information switching from the reference check. The thing I got from Debbie the other day.
Okay. So do you have any, of the construction work that you did, do you have anybody we can call to check up on that?
Yeah,
Who would that be?
Rick Caraway.
Rick Caraway?
Carroway.
Okay. Well, we can check with him. Also, do you know what the salary is?
I believe it was 12 to 16.
Yeah, what would the starting rate be for the,
Well, our current seasonal labor was making $13.16 an hour.
13.
$13.16.
okay. So it'd be 12.46 to 13.16, so. Do you fellas have any questions?
No, I don't at this time.
Right.
Not at this time, no.
If,
If you were to hire Jason, the town administrator would do a query check. And
you have any questions, John? Okay. Well, thank you for your time coming in.
Thank you.
We'll let you.
And I hope this goes well. It's actually my birthday today.
Well, happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
good luck.
Nice to meet you.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. Guys, have a good night.
Thank you.
You too.
Thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
Giving us your time.
And Laura, just so you know, we do have another applicant, but he's out of town, so we can't interview him until, you can look on the calendar there, June 25th, I believe, that Tuesday,
What, yeah, and what was that?
JD. So, Just wanna let you know, and I emailed Tim.
Yeah,
um,
that's the only two applicants we have in the town.
That they passed down to us, yeah,
Okay.
so. We'll have to, I don't know what you wanna do on that one.
Well, we'll have to just, kind of to keep it open until we get the chance to interview the other guy.
Okay,
What do you guys think?
Yep.
Okay.
No, I definitely want to interview the other one.
Okay. All right, so that brings us up to department water bills. Town department water bills.
The other candidate out of town until what, the 25th?
25th, yeah.
Grab your tractor so we don't grab mine, we'll take care of it.
Okay, Laura put together a sheet showing all the water bills. I'd like to have you guys, we talked about it last week, there was the cemetery and garden, they're doing some wonderful work, volunteer basis. And they certainly need water to keep our cemetery beautiful. So, you guys want to comment on that?
I agree with Stewie on the cemetery. I agree with that 100%. So that, I don't see the other paper that you were just showing me here. Is that in this package here? I mean, this one here, I mean, it's only $8. I mean, then we've got this weekend, but I don't see what we're gonna do with the other ones myself, except for maybe this one here.
The other one's usually not that bad, but Laura explained they had a water leak last year.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I agree 100% on this, in this here.
Wait,
Understood.
way I see it,
The cemetery and the
Yes.
Harvard Basel one, I agree on 100%, so.
you don't agree with the garden?
Yes, that's all part of the cemetery, as far as I'm concerned. And the one down the town landing, but not all the other ones that are on that list.
No. That's the least we can do for the,
No, I'll make
The
a motion
garden
if you
club.
want for the garden club and the cemetery and the harbor master one. That we, forego the bill.
you making a motion?
Yep.
I'll second it too.
All in favor?
Alright.
Aye.
You wouldn't be sitting here tonight if it wasn't for the veterans.
Oh, I realize that. Okay, next order of business is rubbish removal. Last meeting, just bring everybody up, we discussed the dumpster outside, and still we had some suggestions how we could save some money for the department. And when we left last meeting, Laura was gonna look in and get some pricing. You wanna give us an update on the pricing, Laura?
so attached are the 6 people. I contacted, I couldn't get a hold of Bill Allen, there was no number, and so I did not get a hold of him. I put in our current price, what we're paying, and then these would be for fiscal year 2014, starting July 1st, and going to a monthly pickup,
So this top one is what we're paying now, the $43.85?
bi-weekly. So we don't, none of these, there is no rental fee for the dumpster, just so we're clear on that. The first one would be $55 and no fuel charge
That's a month?
a month, yeah.
Okay,
And then Mello was 45. Jack Cook was 40. And down the road there, so,
Casella was 43, outside Cardi was.
yeah.
The only thing is, did they give you any indication, if we had to have it done twice, were they charges? In other
Yes,
words, we filled it up.
yes, yeah, all of them would.
Mr. Chairman,
I didn't ask for that.
I'd like to make a motion that, we hire Cook's Rubbish Service starting July 1st. He's a little better here for $40 per month.
Yeah, but now we get along by barrels and everything, so we don't contain it, right?
Jack said that he would supply barrels to us, and we're gonna clear a section in the garage. I was thinking, you know, by the, inside the first garage, on the left, when you come in that little corner before the shelves, I could set up some garbage station there. 'Cause we really can't leave it out, the animals, and, you know.
That's the only thing, I'm talking about with no container.
So I think we can work it out, Roy. We just have to, you know, just be a little different, that's all.
I'd like to try it for a couple of months, and if the garage stinks up and everything else, then we're gonna have to do something different.
Mr. Cook picks up other,
Well, no, I don't check this stuff up, what I'm saying, it's gonna
and
be
there are
this
no
in the garage.
problems.
You know, then we gotta do something different, you know what I'm saying?
well, they're gonna be plastic bags, aren't they? Gonna be great big plastic bags?
Well, they're gonna be barrel, so we have those big gray garbage cans now back there. We have a couple at the wells. You know, I have to really think it through, I haven't really done that, but, you know, I'm assuming.
No, the only thing I'm saying, let's try it for 3
We should
months.
get covers on them, so, you
And if it's
know.
gonna start stinking up the garage and have a mess in there, then we gotta go back to
It
that,
has to
maybe
be
up
all
the container.
bagged, it'll have to be all bagged, and, you know, the big green garbage bags. Right now, we throw the junk in there without bagging it, so we would have to bag it. We can work it out.
Well, let's, I think Roy's request is reasonable. Let's try it for 3 months and see how it works out with our,
Mr. Chairman?
Yeah.
If I may, try it for a year, let's be fair about it. Who wants to drop what they're doing for $120 for 3 months? He picks up a lot of rubbish around town and no problems.
No, it's not that silly at all, I have no problem with that, what I'm saying, it's gonna be out in the garage for a month. You know what I mean?
no, it's gonna be picked up weekly.
This is monthly.
That's
He's
the
gonna-
monthly,
He's gonna charge us $40 a month to pick up weekly, isn't he?
right.
Or is that the deal?
Yeah, I think we were gonna see, like Stu was looking the other day, we only have, what, 1 bag in there, Stu? You know, our garbage from week to week.
Well, I'm just looking what you got here, you're saying a monthly pickup.
So I did the quotes monthly, because that's what I was asked to do, was to do a
What, is
once
he
a
gonna pick
month.
up 4 times?
If he needed to, yeah.
He
Depending
usually
on
does,
how
he
the-
does weekly pickups. He
He's
doesn't
very-
do monthly.
He's very accommodating, he goes by
Yeah,
every street around.
Yeah. So, I mean, you're right, Roy, it says monthly, but I think it's monthly billing. He charges $40 a month.
I think there might be a health issue with storing the garbage inside.
Larry, there shouldn't be any garbage in there, it's just cardboard and plastic wrappers. Where would the garbage come from?
I would imagine, you know, people are going to, you know, at their, you know, the waste cans in the offices and stuff like that get emptied out there.
right,
Okay,
Right.
so if you're at your desk eating a sandwich and don't want to throw it in
I
there.
won't be here for a month, as I say, you
Hmm.
drive by here all the time. It'll be on his roof.
Well, I mean, I think that this price is what he charges normally for his monthly service, which includes weekly pickups, so. And then, if there's gonna be any kind of lunch debris from lunch or whatever, it's gonna be in plastic bags, and it's gonna be,
If it's gonna be weekly, I'll go for it, but if it's gonna be by the month, then I wanna put a restriction on it.
yeah, I think it's weekly. I really don't. But she was, putting down things monthly, like there's a monthly pickup for the dumpsters, it'd be a monthly thing. So they fill up the dumpster on.
So we were doing bi-weekly, and I think at the last meeting it was suggested that we didn't need to do it bi-weekly because we weren't filling it. So then we said monthly, and that's where I got the monthly from.
Yeah. So it's a monthly fee.
Right, and Jack, I'm sure, depending on the guard, he'll come and pick it up.
No, I'm just saying, as long as it's weekly, I'll go for it,
Yeah.
but if it's gonna be one pickup a month, and gonna be in the garage, I'm not for it.
Okay, so make a motion.
I make a motion that, for the third time, I make a motion that we hire Cook's Rubbish Service to pick the water department's rubbish up starting July 1st for the fiscal 14 year.
This weekly, I second.
With Roy Ricker stipulating it's gonna be a weekly pickup, so we don't have any buildup of trash. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. You could just double check with Jack.
Sure.
Okay. Water leak policy. So over the last several meetings, we've had some hardship cases in. Some people that really, elderly people that, and some leaks, and they addressed it, very, very quickly.
I have a question, maybe you can answer that for us. Like that one on Hagel Street, where it's like a quarter, half mile long going into the house, and it's got a meter pit out next to the street.
Mhm.
Is there any way we can put some kind of like another meter in that she could watch it and see that the thing's spinning like up? I mean, she ain't gonna go out looking at, she's 85 years old, she's not gonna go out looking at meter pit or a meter.
Yes,
But I mean, it goes underneath a brook and a swamp
Ah,
into the house, and what happened, it was leaking under the brook pipe.
and she wasn't aware of it, nobody was aware of it until the bill came.
Right. I just wondered, is there something that we can do that's at the house, so, I mean, so you can tell us the difference, is what I'm saying.
You can definitely install a meter there, the cost of the meter and the installation.
See,
I mean, if it was an old meter or
See, you
something.
wouldn't pick it up at her house because the meter would be turning out of the street.
Right, but that way there, at least we could tell that it was a break in between, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, you could do that, but it still wouldn't get us going or getting her going quicker than she was able to go,
Maybe she ended up.
She wouldn't.
She ended up with a big bill, and it just, she didn't know nothing until it came.
The only thing you
At
could
least
do
she
is
could
there
walk
might
out,
be
look
a-
in the cellar and look at a meter or
There might be
something.
an alarm that she could install in her meter out at the meter pit, and then have like an audible alarm in her house.
I don't know, that's why I'm asking, somebody knows more about it than I do.
Yeah, you can definitely measure it locally at her house. So then, say you install the meter, and she doesn't look at it, she's still gonna have the same argument saying that it was our equipment that failed or something.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's a tough situation, I think, what they do in most towns, they keep an eye on it.
Yeah.
Spike all of a sudden with
Come
the
on in.
technology
You
available.
can come sit up here.
Well, we would,
They watch for them.
Be ready
Floor
for you in
test.
a minute.
well, what we have is like monthly billing now, and so everything's on a
Can you
remote
sign in for me?
reader. Now that they can drive around, they can get the monthly reading, and if it spikes up, then they know there's a leak.
That's
So-
the best way to handle it.
It's the quickest, the way you can do it, because we do it monthly now, so. What we do have is that we have some exorbitant bills for people that can't even afford it, and then they get forced with repairing their leaks, and so they've spent a lot of money repairing the leak, and then they get a huge water bill, so I think that, what we ought to consider is, you know, making I think it's gonna be a case-by-case basis. What do you think, Stu?
You have to be fair about it, all or none.
So, we gotta determine at this board level if it's a
It's
valid.
just like that one up there goes underneath the brook and the things like, it's not like it's bubbling up through the ground so you can see it or anything.
Nobody
You
could
know.
accuse her of being negligent,
And,
any more so than this woman down the street, so.
you know, I mean, I haven't got it right here in front of me, it's good in my other book here, but, I'd like to do is go back to what their averages were before and see if we can't do something. This is my opinion, but.
What do they do in Groveland and Georgetown? What do they do?
Do you have any questions? Stuart, do you have any suggestions? What can you do?
Well, I think we gotta do it on a case-by-case basis, because, you know, every case is unique, and
Yeah.
I don't know if we can put a general statement on, you know,
I don't need it, but what I'm saying is that, you know, we gotta do something to help.
well, I think we can, as a board, do that, but I don't think we can make a policy.
Okay.
But, you know, other than, it's gotta be a case-by-case basis to look at the circumstances and everything. And we do have the ability to look at these things and determine, you know, amongst ourselves, you know, if it's valid that we can forgive, you know, or go to a monthly. I think the only policy would be go to our average or his average bill during the previous months to allow that, once that the thing is fixed, with a notice that, you know, you gotta fix it right away. So in other words, if it happens and we get a leak there and they don't address it, then, you know, that would be something that, you know, we're not gonna, you know, let the water bleed out like that. So I think what we ought to do is have a case-by-case thing and a notification to them that they gotta fix it within 10 days or 5 days. Should really be 5 days, so. You think we can have a motion like that?
I'll make that motion. Tim.
Okay, so the motion would be, if somebody comes in with a hardship about a leak that they had nothing that they could have done to prevent it, then we could, as a board, determine that we could,
Case by case.
on a case-by-case basis, determine, you know, that we could give them an abatement to go back to a monthly bill that they reflected in the past. So does that sound like a good motion?
I still feel it should be all or none.
Yeah, every
Can
situation
you
is
tell me
different,
more
that's the
about,
only thing.
I'm not sure what you mean, Stuart.
Case by case basis doesn't include every individual.
It does, because I mean, when they come in, you know, and, you know, explain what happened or their situation, then we make a decision then. All they do is, you know, come in and talk to us and we go from there, so I mean,
That's pretty much how we've been handling it in the past too, so, and that's probably a reason why we did that. So I guess the two matters at hand, well, first of all, we need to get a second on the motion. Or if you want to modify the motion, Stewie,
I'd like to think about it. Bring it up next week,
you want to table it?
please. And can we skip around here? We have the gentleman here.
Yep.
6:30.
All right, we're gonna table, the, water leak policy till next week. Okay, so we have, candidate in here. My name's Tim Toomey.
Scott Richard,
Pleased to meet you,
just
Scott.
continue doing what you gotta do, I'm in no hurry.
Hi, Scott. Scott knows that.
Nice to meet you. Sean, nice to meet you. Is it?
Roy Ricker.
Right, we just- You see, you're dealing with issues I'm all familiar with.
Try.
You're familiar with.
I'm just looking for your resume, Scott.
So Tim, it's in your folder under secondary operator. In the folder you just took the clip off. And it's color coded by different interviews that we have.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, Scott. There we go. Okay, so, position is the secondary operator. And the description is you get the description there for us?
Yeah, I do. Secondary one, right?
Okay. So that's, we need the description for the town.
So, yeah.
Here's primary. All right, so Scott, where are you from?
I'm from the report.
And right now you work for the city of Newburyport?
Yes. Water department.
Okay. So you got a CDL, a hoisting engineer's license, and a water distribution license,
It's,
grade 2.
it's full.
What about treatment?
I don't have a treatment license. However, I'm supposed to go for that test in June
In June?
for the one. Because you're gonna have the one, go to school for the two now.
Oh, yeah,
They changed all
yeah.
schooling around.
So what kind of schools involved with that?
If you get your one, you have to go to 12 weeks of classes, 1 day a week, 4
Yeah.
hours a day. You should just do it all a week. But you go down to Holliston, doing the water work,
Uh-huh.
take 12 classes, take your test. You have to pass a class to go for your class 2 test. So if you don't pass the class,
Yeah.
because it was only, I think it was 3 or 4 classes before last year, before this year. And they had a failure rate of like 76%, 78%. So they're trying to eliminate that and making it, 20% failure and 76 passing.
So what did you do before? Let's see.
I worked for myself for a number of years doing repairs, fiberglass yacht repairs, restored aircraft, restored automobiles. Did that for about 15 years, 20 years.
Yeah.
What is the pay grade in this, do we know?
Yeah, it should be on the posting. Where's the posting?
$20.79 to $22.59.
Yep. Okay, so,
Are you comfortable with that, pay scale?
I don't know.
No, I'm just, you know,
I was thinking of the primary operator's job. Was that?
oh, I thought it was on secondary.
I know in Newburyport,
yeah, so he's applying for the secondary because he
I
doesn't
know in
have a tree.
Newburyport, they
He
give
doesn't
you
have
like a year to get your license. And the licenses now are a lot tougher because of the new regulations.
So you're applying for the primary one?
No, he's applying for the secondary.
Well, I'm
Well-
going for secondary because I have the two.
He doesn't have a license for
But
the
I'm
secondary.
thinking if I can get the two, I'd rather go for a primary.
Yeah.
And I don't know what your thoughts are on someone going to school to get the two, you give them 6 months, or you just have to have it, or,
Well, we need to have the licenses right off the bat.
because I know, with a distribution license, you can work under somebody else if they have a full license under their license. Like your report requires everybody to get it, but everybody doesn't legally have to have it. You can work, I could have guys working under me. You know, those 4 guys working under me without a license,
Yeah.
but the city requires you to get a license, so I didn't know if it was the same thing here or not.
Well, here it's, we have,
Because generally it's hard to get, especially now with the requirement for the license. Someone's gonna go get a 1, send themselves to school at, I don't know what the licenses are, like $1,200 for the class,
yeah,
on the probability that they might get a job. So licenses are worth a lot more now than they used to be a couple of years ago.
yeah.
And that's part of the problem with people not being able to get people. I know we got a problem getting people, you guys.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Last
Well,
couple of years.
yeah. No, the,
But, I mean, if that's your requirement.
yeah, the posting is kind of,
I know it's a
do
requirement,
you have a
but it's not,
copy of the posting?
I
Is
don't
it
know.
in your packet?
Right here.
I'm sure it's a state law that you have to
I
have.
got the two of them.
All right.
This is the secondary one, and this is the primary.
So the secondary,
And this is what we get from downtown.
yeah,
That's
there we
what
go.
I wanted to.
Yeah. Class 1 distribution license and a Class 1 treatment license. So you have the distribution license, but you don't have the treatment license. So it's the posting we have to provide. And it's also a union position.
Yeah, I'm in the union. I know pretty much about that.
Yeah. So you got a union up there in the report?
Yeah, it's the same union.
Okay. So then we have to go with the posting.
Okay, so if you want to open up your pool of candidates, you might want to check into that. People could work, because Robbie has a full license. You could work, those people could work under his license until they obtain their licenses. That would open up.
Does that sound right?
Well,
I haven't done a lot of research on the treatment. I know on distribution, that's how it is.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's right or not, but I'm believing what he's saying with conviction.
Yeah.
And
Well, I would check into it because in the last year, a lot of things have changed.
Rubs it.
Yeah, and then you have to wonder,
So they can work in the rubs it. That's what I'm saying.
But I
what's the
mean,
practical
No,
need
working
for
for the primary.
for the
Rob's
license aside from
Rob's
actually
secondary.
getting the license?
Well, that's what you're telling globally.
that's what I'm saying, they hired,
Yes.
when I got hired, I had a year to get my distribution license. So that's what I did. Generally, nowadays, if you wanna do it, I'm forgetting. I checked into the classes and there was one class, I don't know, was it treatment? They only had 2 classes a year or something, it was ridiculous. So you actually, if you got hired on a certain date, you might not get your classes. Let's say if you got hired in May, and the next class wasn't until October, November, you wouldn't get your license for almost a year till you got hired. So sometimes now on the contracts, they're extending that period till say a year and a half or something, depending on what kind of license it is, because New England Water Works just doesn't have the teachers. They don't have the teachers to do it. It's ridiculous.
Well,
But I understand what you're saying, so that's fine.
um,
The position's open till it's filled anyway, right?
yeah, we're not, you know, we can look into that, so it's worth bringing up, so,
Well, if you guys need help.
Yeah.
Open up the candidate pools, pool of candidates a little more.
So what you're saying is you won't be able to get your class 1 treatment license until when?
Well, that I don't have to go to a class, I can study and take the test on my own. Takes about 2 weeks to 3 weeks lead time to get a test date, so that's what I'm looking
You gotta take the coursework first.
at. You have to do the book work, you don't need to take a course for
Okay,
your class 1, water or distribution.
okay,
To go for your class 2, you need to pass the class 1 to even apply to take the course for the class 2.
okay.
Before, like, I could study and just I could go for a class 3 if I wanted,
Yeah,
just take the test, I didn't have to go to school or anything.
no, but for this position, you know, like the pay grade is 16.79 to 22.39. And it requires a class 1 treatment license and a class 1 distribution license. You have the class 1, you got a class 2 distribution.
Yeah, full.
So you need the class 1 treatment license. And also, when we go online in next year, we're gonna need a class, we're gonna up this job description to class 2, I believe, because we're gonna need class 2 operators for the treatment plant.
Well, that's what your primary one is, anyway,
Yeah, so yeah, we can work under the.
so. I mean, if you get the 1, you might as well go for the 2,
Yeah,
because the 1's really,
that's basic.
it's not,
Yeah.
it's not much to me.
So if you know, if we do consider you for employment, you would have to, you know,
Well, I'm planning to go for the 1 within probably 3 weeks,
yeah,
if I can get a date.
yeah.
So
So,
obviously I have to take it on a Saturday, so it kind of cuts down when I get it.
oh, you know, like, we might have different needs in, say, 6 months when we get more of a handle on what we need for our treatment plant, so,
Yeah, well, that's one of the reasons I came home, because I knew you get a new treatment plant.
yeah.
I like that. I know you get a lot of new stuff. I took a walk out back and everything you get out there's all stuff I'm familiar with.
Yeah,
It's like you're doing a hydrant replacement program maybe,
yeah,
get rid of the Kennedys, put in water systems.
yeah, we've been doing some of that work. We've been short-staffed, I think, but,
Everything else is all stuff I'm familiar with. I'm on a construction crew, not just a water guy, so
yeah.
I think we have the same exact back for all trucks.
You have a CDL.
Yeah.
Well, we appreciate, do you have any guys have any more questions?
No, I don't.
I don't know.
Okay, so we
I think what I
appreciate-
should do is, when I take my test, I'll let you know.
Yeah, I think that'd be the best way to do it.
Because once I get it, I'm gonna sign up for the class 2.
Yeah. Yeah. It sounds like, you know, it looks to me like you're,
I
Just starting off
haven't
this-
ever needed it before, so
Yeah.
I just never went for it.
so, you know, you've been, in you know, since, 2 or 3 years' experience on the waterworks right now, right?
I got 13.
Oh, yeah, okay, I'm sorry. 13 years. That's good, good,
Yeah, I've shoveled a lot of dirt.
yeah. That's good. That's a good experience.
It's got wet and muddy a lot.
Well, thank you for coming in, Scott.
Can I ask you a couple questions?
Sure.
How many miles of pipe do you have in town? You know?
I can't answer that.
Well,
Can you answer that?
we had that question a couple of weeks ago,
Yeah,
didn't we?
Must be a popular question. What about services? How many services do you have?
Oh,
Just
Laura
under
should,
18.
Laura should know.
Yeah,
about that.
1784.
talking earlier about, do you do monthly billing or,
Yeah,
you know?
we're doing that now. We have, remote readers now.
Okay. What kind of music do you have?
Neptune?
Well, the Neptune, and they got the pound readers, and you go around,
Yeah.
get the readers, download it.
Doing it monthly is wonderful, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
It's, we just went to quarterly, but we're going towards monthly. It really helps the customer out.
Yeah,
I heard you talking about leaks, and when we first put them in, we did that about 5 years ago now. Oh, we found so many leaks, it was unbelievable. You know, just on the customer side.
oh, yeah,
But, it's really a great, those things detect such a minute leak. It's really great.
right,
It's proactive, you know? And, cause reading it monthly, you know, the most you're gonna get is, a 4-week leak. And that's it.
Yeah.
Before it was 3 months or 6 months, and bills are astronomical. And, I dealt with all those people. I did a lot of customer service, so I was out in the media van a lot.
okay.
I always had the proverbial people in the office, oh, they're gonna teach over the whole of the frying pan. And I get back and say, God, that woman makes a great sandwich. And they say, that's why we send you.
Scott, can I ask you a question? If somebody had a leak in a report, and how would you folks handle that on an abatement?
On an abatement, I don't know, I don't deal with that stuff. I know what they do is, cause we had the remote, radio read, so they just print it out. If he also has a leak, boom, 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 they get a letter. I don't know what the time is to fix it. I do believe they give them a timeline to fix it. I know, and they do, basically the people do the same thing as far as abatements. They go in front of our water commission. You know, I know sometimes what's happened is, they had a large bill, and what they did is they filled their pool. And you get, when you do that, you get a one-time abatement on your sewage. So that's one thing I do know about abatements. The rest of it, I don't
You have
know.
storage in your water, and the city's tied together.
Well, they're based on the water meter readings, the sewage.
Okay.
So,
It's like the MWRA.
yeah, so if you fill your pool, I think you get a one-time exemption. You know, like some people replace a liner or something.
Yeah.
And I usually know about that because I hear there's water going down the road and I do the circles and look for the plumbers or
Yeah.
sometimes hydrants. This time of year, hydrants, people hooking up the hydrants is notorious. And I catch them. I've caught a couple. Sometimes landscapers, sometimes pool companies,
Yeah.
do it once. But, you get stuff like that because generally you find that out because we'll start getting calls on dirty water. If you open up a hydrant that usually doesn't get open.
Yeah.
Because we flush them twice a year. They're pretty good. We don't have too many dirty hydrants. We repair probably, I'm gonna say, probably 50 to 100 hydrants a year. Make them, oil them, or we actually take them apart, service them, which is a challenge because we got like 4 different hydrants in the report. And we're trying to do the same thing you're doing here, getting rid of all the odd ones, we'll say.
Yeah.
And we got a water system. We did have an issue with them about 5 years ago. We had to replace all the shafts on them for some reason. They had metal on them or something. You know, the water has sent us all the shafts. We're quite adept at doing that.
Well, how many customers in Newburyport?
I'll say about 10,000.
Yeah, so
We
it's a
got
big,
1,200 down the island. Up the island,
new customers.
9,000 in the weekend.
Well, Scott, thank you for your time. I appreciate you coming in, and
No problem.
we'll see if, something comes up here.
Yeah.
Right now, we gotta, pretty much stick by the,
See if I can post them,
yeah, so,
go by the rules.
no, I appreciate you coming in, so just keep in
Alright.
touch if you could, please.
I will, probably by the end of the month,
Yeah,
June, by the end of June. You have for me?
okay.
All right?
Thank you, Scott.
I hope you get some of the problems, worked out with some new help here.
Yeah, well, we're gonna.
You know, you get everything new, so you get everything going for you.
Yeah,
You get a new system, you get a new plant going, your equipment's in good shape. Yeah. All right, sounds good.
well, thank you very much. Laura,
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
we're gonna
See you again.
talk about a few things before we bring the next
Okay.
candidate in for,
Okay.
would you ask him
Okay,
if you would
he's-
mind waiting 10 minutes?
Yep, it's gonna be a few minutes, okay?
Yeah, no
Okay,
problem.
Okay.
I'm sorry, because I wanna, talk,
Yep.
I want John's time, we're gonna let him go early. So, we were gonna talk about, change order 5, John?
Yes.
Could you bring us up to speed, of, John came on board, what was it,
Right.
last Friday? And he came on board running.
Yeah, we ran right over to the site after the introduction here. And I guess everybody's more or less familiar with the change orders that we're talking about in this package of 4. And with the help of Weston Sampson's resident engineer, he was kind enough to walk me through the way he saw things. And we agreed with what was included in the contract versus what wasn't included, which hence brings up a change order request. So we checked off items 1 through 3. Then we got stuck on item 4, which has to do with the column at the entryway. You can see up there at the rendering, right where the person's entering the building, there's supposed to be a support here which isn't shown. It probably enhances the rendering not having a column there. We wouldn't really want to have a column there, but we have to have it based on the design of the roof. So it appears as though they were trying to wrap up the design at the end and they left out some details. Which brings you to a change order, as everybody knows. The language of the change order initially led me to believe that it was going to be primarily involved with the structural aspects of putting the post in place. And to make a long story short, we find out today that it's really related to the ceiling underneath the canopy that wasn't part of the contract drawings. So, the ceiling, the cost is $14,000. And they're not going to give us any less. So we're stuck at $14,000 for the cost of that.
It was what, 13.8 something? right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I rounded up to 14.
We have those change orders handy for,
No, I didn't put them in your packet, I assumed.
I think I got it here.
Want to run and go make copies? of those, Tom?
we're just gonna go through it.
I am.
Yeah.
I got some right here. I'm not sure which ones we got.
Well, we have the May 15th revision of the April 22nd, I believe, and we brought up last week.
Tom, John, sorry, did it again.
That's okay.
Do you want me to just make copies of that one?
No, we
Which
can work off this.
Which one is that one? How much is that one?
May
40?
15th is,
46, the total amount?
46,154.
So that's the one they're working on now. They eliminated the overhead garage. There's 2 of them. 46. Yeah,
says 53.
yeah, 53,
727.
and then they eliminated the 6,000. You eliminated that last week.
On number 1.
Yeah, you eliminated the garage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so that dropped it down to 46. What was the figure, John?
With this total change order
Yeah.
package, 46,154.
Okay. All right, so the item at hand is item 5, right? Column change.
They've eliminated one of them, so we're left with 4 changes here. It's now item 4 on the current,
Okay, so we have a current change order thing?
for this column at the entryway. This is now 4.
Okay, so we got a new one of them sheets?
I don't have, do I have any
You
one
should have
of
to
this?
make a
That's what I'm
copy of
saying,
this.
yeah.
If we want to all look
Yeah.
Yeah.
at the same
Yeah,
thing,
when
well,
I, yeah. when
Let's
I-
keep those hands
Yeah.
right here, Roy, let's just leave them right here.
And these ones I had last week.
I had the same thing, I just got too many papers.
Yeah, it's those I got there.
So maybe talk a little bit more about the details. That corner of the roof needs a support.
yes,
It's cantilevered off, it doesn't meet the codes, so it might deflect or it might lift up, there's wind, stuff like that, so they need to secure that corner.
So you recommend that?
well, see, that's one thing, as a contract administrator, somebody in my shoes, we don't make design suggestions. And it seems crazy that they're doing something, then of course we bring that up, but we take, the project engineer tells us he's got an issue here. He tells us what the solution is, we don't bicker about what he's doing.
See, the problem that we've had, they've known about this since February. They started talking about this, and they didn't let Tim and I know until 3 or 4 weeks ago.
Oh.
And they come up with, well, it could be 12, it could be 17.
Yeah.
And we should wait a minute. You know, they just wanted us to sign it and let them walk out the door, you know?
Yeah.
Well, it started out at 17,000, and they dropped it down to roughly 14,000, 13,800. Okay.
So that's where it sits now, so we
So right now, it's called change order 4.
No,
Item
5.
4.
Item 4, on change order 5. Sorry. Okay, so it stands at 13,897, so.
So we have John Sikora who's reviewed it with his estimated department group, whatever they have, including himself at Weston and Sampson. That's the number. If I had a chance to go over it tooth and nail with Means Construction, no. What I looked at is, you know, was there room for credit with what was originally designed? Got the answer back today, no. And then with this recommendation that maybe we don't do any of this ceiling work. As an option.
So that would cut it down to 13,800 to something else that's less. But we
Could be
would not,
less.
we'd be just cutting out finish work every time we cut.
You cut out finished work and it looks horrible, and then what do? You wait till, and this isn't the recommendation that I've ever made before in any of the jobs I've been on in the past. You bring somebody in after the contract closeout phase of this job to do some of these things. Seems like a logical approach, but there might be a reason why we don't want to do that. I can't tell you what that reason is.
Okay.
Maybe there is no reason. Maybe that's what we should do. I just
What are you recommending to the board that we should?
Okay, what I recommend to the board is, is, you know, jumping in here now, we're gonna take a close look at the change orders coming down the pipe. I recommend that we accept all of change order 5. But I have a few other comments on some of the other items first.
Okay, so, doesn't look like, it looks like they came down, but we got it down as far as we can. We have a functional front door entrance that's gonna meet the standard codes of having a fairly attractive front door, but we'd have to put a post up there to hold that corner.
Yeah.
Okay. And if we start, it's $13,000 thing, so if we start, trying to fine tune that, it might end up even less attractive the way it's going than
Right.
it would look right now. So it would have been nice if this thing was part of the original contract that the Kinsman could have bid on, but that didn't happen. Some of these things do happen when the design thing gets bid upon, and then they find out these things when they're building the thing that they have to accommodate this kind of a change, and that's what's happened here. Okay, can you say it any better than that?
No.
Okay.
The argument is that it wasn't part of the work that the contractor bid on that needs to be done anyway. So that you're paying for it once anyway.
See, the part that I don't understand is, you're like Weston and Sampson, you're making up these change orders. And if they left something out, why do we have to eat all of it, is what I'm saying.
Yes, I'm hearing that from the board, and I can tell you in my past experience that change orders is part of the contract administration business because when the designer gets on board and you accept his design services contract, he is not giving you a perfect design. It's more or less almost impossible, or it would be a lot more costly for him to do so. That's the argument you hear all the time. But the good point is change orders begin being part of this business on all these plants. I think Barbara Cook brought some of that to light last meeting, which I wasn't here present at. The good news is that the change orders are in good shape in this job. There's a credit standing right now because of
The one thing I didn't see, like on this number 4 there for the 13.8, I mean, originally when they came in, and they were saying you could be 12, could be 17, but the beam that was supposed to be in it, they were only gonna give us a $1,500 credit for that beam, and I'm saying to myself, we're getting rid of one beam and they're putting a different one in, it's gonna cost us thousands.
It's the writing of this description that I was hung up on first as well, until today I found out that it's not necessarily the structural elements that would go into this change, it's the ceiling fascia, if you will, is the labor costs. So that's what we were told today. That's our final answer that we got from the contractor. So I'm still recommending accepting this change. The state of the contract now is in good shape. I think we move on from this one.
Okay, so,
Just on item number 4, or are you saying all of them?
well, let's,
Item number 4 is the most difficult one for me to analyze for the same reasons that you brought up about the,
they said that they would accept a partial change order to get things rolling, and their priority was this one on item 4, so should we entertain a motion to accept change order on change order 5, item number 4?
Mr. Chairman, if somebody's a design engineer in the business every day, and they miss that, I think Weston Sampson should bite the bullet.
Okay,
This town paid for working for contract to that drawer. Why should the town be penalized for another $13,000 for something they missed? That's how I feel.
I had the same point, but I don't think there's a benefit to us, holding it up any further. So,
The part that I'm nervous about is they keep coming up with 5 days, 7 days, that we're holding them up. I mean, if we okay it tonight, it's still gonna be downtown to the selectmen.
we approve it, and then they want to see that we approve it.
Right.
But what I'm, just hang on just for a second. But what I'm saying is we keep, every time we hold them up, it's costing us money, so in the long run, we're paying that,
Right. They complain we're holding them up. We did not make the mistake. Weston Sampson made the mistake, and then they want to play hardball that we're holding them up.
Well, I felt the same way, Stu, but when I, actually, after having, John go down there and talk to them, and then, getting some dialogue back on the issue, I don't see us, get any kind of a cost-effective manner to get Weston and Sampson to pick up this change order for the 13 grand. It just wouldn't be effective. And-
13 grand this month, a few other things, what will it be
Well,
next month?
I think that we need to be more on top of these things, and then John had a suggestion of writing a letter to them, seeing what they would anticipate being other things we could get down the road, as far as what could happen.
In particular, item 9.
I mean, don't they have another engineer check the work?
Well, they have, the person, the engineer that designed it, they have his review team there at the company, and then we have an independent guy, John Sikora, who's actually working indirectly for us through Weston and Sampson, and then they have their own project managers who are engineers at the construction company. So they got 3 sets of eyes, and then we have our set of eyes looking at it. And although it's the last minute, we're looking at it with respect to, we need to, get this thing moving on. We've already got them to go from like 18,000 down to 13,000. I think that they should take ownership of the whole change order, but that's gonna be a lot more expensive for us to, in the time delays, than we can afford. So
Well, I
we're
just,
kind of forced into this. I'm not happy about it any more than anybody in this town.
it's just the ratepayers getting hit again for something that's Weston Sampson's fault.
See, they could modify that front entryway and not have a protruding corner out there like that, but then they'd be charging us more money to redesign it, and then it'd be a bigger delay. So the most cost-effective solution to our present dilemma with this change order thing is to move it on, thinking that we're a little bit more satisfied by getting it down from 17 or 18 down to 13 or 14,000. And hopefully, our efforts will make things a little bit more cost conscious there at this project.
Item 3, proactively, on that line of thought. Item 3 is the pulse system, which is the filters, the guts of the plant. It's kind of a complicated shop drawing submittal. It's almost like reviewing another contract in and of itself. This changes to $15,000. So they have to wonder, boy, are there going to be many more of these types of changes related to the pulse system and its interconnectivity with the rest of the controls in the design package? So I think that's the type of question we want to get back to Weston Sampson and see what they've done for their own in-house QA/QC to head off some of the pulse system's issues.
So you're recommending put a hold on 3 until we talk to somebody? Yeah.
I'm recommending accepting this one, but I want to look down, see what they've done to assure us that there aren't going to be any more related to the same equipment.
So John has looked at all 4 of these. And three comes to mind that, the pulse system could be a future problem point for future change orders, because it's such a state-of-the-art type of system, right?
Yes.
So we want to be proactive on that. We'll get John to put together a letter to give it to Weston and Sampson and say, look, we're accepting this one, but we want to know what could possibly happen. We want to get our arms around this whole thing and get this thing so it's, more effective for the ratepayer, that we're going to be paying as little as possible for these change orders. And so to do that, we need to get this board to say, John, write this letter, and let's get a dialogue going. There's a construction meeting this Friday, is that?
Yes.
So we need to get that letter out no later than Thursday.
When this started, town meeting voters were told 9 million. Next town meeting was 12.3 million, and that would, the voters are told us hard numbers. Which is, the way we're going, we'll end up at 13 million.
No, because we had it, it's actually,
We got the bond for 13, but, you know,
Right.
Stewie's right, there's other figures in there.
but I mean, the high number, we had enough in it, because we left for, was it 10%, was it?
Yeah, the contingency,
Yes.
5
So-
to 10% of the normal
5%.
contract.
So
Great,
it's a
they
half
go
a
on,
million.
that'd be long gone.
You know, in my review of the conditions on site, things seem to be progressing normally. You know, the concrete appears good. The bricks are coming in fine. I have a level of comfort right now that things are progressing the way they should. You know, it doesn't mean that things, you know, they might change down the road, but change orders are a normal part of business. And I don't see anything abnormal happening right now.
Well, do you think that we're gonna be, we're kind of saved by the initial change order of doing directional drilling versus the pipe jacking?
And that's great.
So we saved 80,000 right there, so we're in the right direction, we're just,
We'd like to see it go more, like.
And there might be another one that pops up,
Yeah.
but, you know, the town should be prepared to accept some of this. It's work that
so is it,
needed to be done that wasn't part of the original bid.
yeah, so we have a contingency on there, so the contingency amount covers change orders. Okay. So we gotta be careful of that contingency. That's the only money we can save things at this time, so to get that ball rolling, we need to be on top of this PAL system.
I think so, yes.
Okay.
You know, the last thing you want to do is have work be done that has to be removed and replaced. So ideally, the clerk of the resident engineer and myself and whoever's involved prevents that from happening.
Yeah.
But there's the day-to-day business of answering these other questions that takes priority. You gotta keep the schedule moving forward.
Okay.
The other thing is the pay rate requisition, I haven't had a chance to dig my teeth into yet. I want to see where they're at with that, if they're under or over, or if they're where they're supposed to be. And that's gonna happen before Friday.
Okay. These associated time extension things here, is that something we can talk to them about, say where we don't wanna,
Yeah, you can deny that.
okay. So we could accept at least item number 4 on change order 5, for the contingency that we don't do the time extension.
Correct.
And then these other items, you're recommending that we go proceed with these?
Yes.
Okay, so there's nothing we can do about that.
We worked on 4. They didn't budge.
So is it your recommendation, John, we accept change order 5
Yes.
with, can we put the contingency of, not to the condition that we're not gonna accept the associated time extensions?
Yes.
How do you guys feel?
That's why we hired him, because he knows what he's doing up there.
Right.
And we don't.
So we had better eyes,
So
far better than us.
I'm
Look at this.
comfortable if he's looked at it and thinks that we should accept it, I think that we should. And we have somebody up there that's watching for us now that knows what's going on.
Okay, so with that in mind, I think that You wanna make that motion?
Yep, I'll make that motion.
Contingent
There's
upon them,
recommendation that I think that we can.
and then writing that letter for item number 3.
Yes.
Okay. Do I have a second?
I'll abstain. Not change, I still say West and Sampson should bite the bullet, it's their mistake.
Okay, well, I'll second the motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Abstain.
Okay.
So just so you know, I'm gonna then assign this change order, because John will not be here to sign it. So I'm still the authorized signature, just so everybody knows at this point.
Okay.
So,
So I'll make a
that
motion
acceptable?
that, I make a motion that Laura should sign it in John's absence.
I'll second
All in favor?
that. Aye.
Aye.
so Tim, we don't have to bring this to the selectmen now on Monday night?
No, they want to see
Okay.
that we had it at our meeting and it's in the minutes. So
Okay.
when we approve it, they're happy with that.
Okay.
That we have brought it up, we've decided to do it, and we voted on it, and it goes uptown, and they're happy with that. They can vote on it if they want, but it's not necessary,
Okay,
okay? So you can call up, well, you can tell John and Barbara tomorrow, if you could open up a dialogue and say that, you know, the letter would be coming. Okay?
so we'll have one new change order 5 with the time extension corrected is the decision.
Yeah, the
tonight,
board,
Before I sign it.
Yeah.
Okay,
And then make sure that Stewie's feelings are well heard over there. We, you know, we're not happy about this. We felt that, you know, this thing should have been designed.
well,
Although
yeah,
John said it.
is in contact with them, yeah.
It's something they do every day. They miss,
Yeah.
they miss that.
Okay, so, John, I guess you can leave, I guess. If you got get going on with the other stuff, so.
All right.
Thanks for your time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, John.
So the next order is, the next interview.
Yep. We're ready now, Matt, sorry. I just need to sign in here. Yep. Thank you. Come on, sit down, have a seat, yeah.
Matt, I'm not Tim Toomey.
Hi,
I'm not
that's
Jim.
awesome.
Hi, man.
That's awesome.
Bill's up.
That's awesome.
Thank you for coming in tonight,
No problem.
expressing your interest in the position.
I have an updated resume if you guys like to take a look at it. I just recently took and passed the distribution, the grade 1 for the distribution, so I put that on there.
Thank you.
There you go. Yep.
Yeah, if you don't
Yep.
mind, just so
No
I have
problem.
one for the file. All right, thank you.
Yep.
So, we get that posting again? Get that out? Yeah.
Yes. Need a few more papers.
So you worked at the wastewater treatment plant too, huh?
Yes. Yep.
What got you interested in water treatment?
Mainly it was where the money is, to be honest with you. I was working at the highway department, truck driver, heavy equipment operator, and this was the way up.
Yeah.
So I went and got my 2, and then I got my 4. Then I got my foot in the door. The wastewater, loved it, had a blast, learned a lot, and then I got my foot in the door at the treatment plant.
Which one you went with?
Huh?
The primary,
The secondary.
secondary?
I put on my application primary and secondary. I don't know if that.
What kind of coursework have you had with the water treatment stuff?
Last year when they started the courses that you had to take, I took and passed the grade 3, grade 4 advanced advanced water treatment down at New England Water Works. And a B+ in the class, got a B on the final test overall. I took the prep. I took my T2 and my T4 before they instituted the class. So I just took review courses back in 09 and 010. And in 09 I got my T2, and in 10 I got my T4.
T4.
Yes.
Really?
You don't have it in front of you, Jim, I can't find it.
Let me see this. So you're working currently at the Newburyport plant, huh?
Yes.
And you got a degree in Bachelor of Science in Management.
Yes.
Good. Who's Colby? Is that?
New London, New Hampshire.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I see that. You guys have any questions?
I don't know.
You live in Newburyport all your life?
Yeah, in 09 I moved to Amesbury.
Yeah.
Um,
So you live in Amesbury now?
Yes, yeah. Just bought a rental property, looking, to stay in the area.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good for you.
Very impressive, Matthew, what you've accomplished.
Thank you, sir.
Do you have any questions for us?
I do have a couple actually. When do you, I know you guys are building a treatment plant, when does that project to go online?
Next spring?
Next spring,
Next spring?
or a
And-
year from now.
Okay, and, what grade do you guys think that'll be assigned?
Well, the minimum requirements at that time are gonna be T2, D2.
No, I understand that, but will the plant will be a treatment two facility?
Yeah.
Okay,
We're gonna go from a T1 to a T2.
okay. And what processes are you looking into? Filtration, mixed media, UV,
We're gonna have a filter membrane.
okay.
And they're gonna be, yeah, it's a state-of-the-art new technology treatment plant. So we're gonna have that. And it will allow us to use less chlorine in our water at the other, at our locations. We have 2 wells. We've had some coliform issues in the past.
Yes,
And also, we've had a high manganese content, which has not allowed us to be able to treat without using an exorbitant amount of chlorine. So we're gonna have less chlorination. We're gonna have clearer water up in the western part of town. And it's gonna be a remarkable plant. Hopefully, it'll be operational without many troubleshooting events. But, we're planning on, it's gonna be a nice experience for our men to operate that facility and our distribution needs and all that too.
okay, now, as I see it, you guys currently have three guys on the water, you have a primary and 2 secondary? Is that correct?
We're gonna have a primary and 2 secondary to operate the
Now, is that,
facility.
are those 3 individuals gonna be staffing the treatment plant as well? Or are you guys gonna look to hire out, or?
At this time, we're not entirely sure, but I think that's gonna pan out that our needs are only gonna be 3. Because we're gonna have a high technology SCADA system to manage the system. And we'll have more duties to perform, but we're gonna see how we make out with three operators at this time.
Okay, do you project this plant running 24 hours
No.
a day? No, just
Our demand is that we're able to operate during the day, and
Yeah.
during the nighttime, when we might, during the day, we're filling up the tank, so
You have
our
enough storage.
overload is carried by our tank during the night hours.
Okay.
That may change, we don't know. We know what our capacity is for our treatment plant. The treatment plant might not be entirely necessary for the entire day, I'm not sure, so we operate on a, 1 shift type thing.
Okay, all right.
So and then we have an on-call type thing where the guys, they vary from week to week, weekend to weekend. And so if there's a break or something like that, then they actually do the monitoring over the weekend.
Yeah.
And then if there's a break, that's certainly the guy that's, getting everything coordinated on that.
Okay. Those are all my questions.
Yeah, so it's a nice little community, it's nice. We have, how many customers, is 1,700 and some odd,
17 80.
and growing, and we've been pretty lucky lately, we've only had maybe 2 water breaks in the last, say, 6 months, so,
Very good, yeah.
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 I shouldn't have said that.
Well, you're through the winter now, this is easy.
Yeah,
Sailing.
yeah, so, we'll see what happens. So I think you're very, very impressive resume, and we should, we're doing preliminary screenings tonight, so
Yes.
you should hear from us one way or the other in the next week or so.
Okay, I know I'm interviewing for the secondary, but is there any chance of the primary as well, or?
Well, the primary requires a little bit more experience. You only have like 7 years, or?
Yeah, total, yeah,
Yeah.
working for municipality. but.
So we're kinda like, we gotta follow with our job descriptions.
Okay.
There's room for advancement here. I'm not sure, we're really not sure of our needs for the treatment plant at this time. So we'll get our arms around that hopefully in the next 6 months or so. Our superintendent's been out, he'll be coming back. And one of his primary duties is get his arms around, what our needs are gonna be for that treatment plant as far as staffing. So, or, we're looking at other options also, so let's, I think, you'll be happy here. We have a good group here. So, once again, I really appreciate you coming in, Scott. Yeah,
Yeah, no problem. Thank you for your time. Appreciate it.
thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir.
Man, thank you very much for coming.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This
I should have salary requirements.
Have a seat, Glenn. I need you to sign in if you don't mind.
Mr. Smith, I'm Tim Toomey, I'm the chairman of the board.
Okay.
Pleased to meet you.
Roy,
I do downtown, nice to meet you.
what's your first name?
Stu.
Stu?
Nice
Nice
to
to
meet
meet you.
So, I'm sure that you're pretty familiar with what we're doing here. We got,
Pretty good.
yeah, we got some needs here. So we're looking at getting a primary operator with some good experience to take care of our water needs. And we're so happy that you had an opportunity to send us your resume. Could you tell us a little bit about yourself? Give us a chrono in the last, say, 10 years.
Crown in the last 10 years, I was at Groveland Water and Sewer, and then 8 years and 10 months ago, I went to Georgetown Water, looking at greener pastures. And now I'm looking at getting back into being an operator instead of trying to be the superintendent and the accountant and bills payable and purchasing and records. And I've got 35 years of experience in wastewater and water, including instrumentation, variable frequency drives. I feel that I've got a lot of experience, that if we could get the right group of guys over here, and I've met Bob, and Rob's been,
Yeah.
been pretty good. I'd like to work with them and train them and show them how you can optimize the system. Right now I'm getting bogged down in paperwork and the nitty-gritty stuff that has nothing to do with operations anymore, it has nothing to do with systems. I'm looking to move out, be responsible for myself, and I'm a good self-starter, and, like I said, I've got a lot of experience with the instrumentation, which you guys are gonna have a ton of. And I think a lot of it we can do in-house. And, I'd like to come aboard.
So you like that position of primary operator?
Yes.
Okay.
I noticed on the thing we got from Debbie, that she was gonna request copy of the licenses and the DMV. Driving record, I'll let you take that, okay?
Here's a copy of the online application. Copy of my water and wastewater license. This is the state report on the water licenses. The state agency report on the wastewater license. My driver's license. My hoisting engineer's license. My medical card. The state printout on the hoisting license. My backflow surveyor and tester certificate.
You guys have took that.
The Cory check, and my driving record. And another hard copy of my resume and cover letter if you didn't have one.
I'll get that again.
Just what I wanted, Glenn, some more paper.
That's what he wants to get
It's
away
fun to
from.
be giving it away instead of taking it in.
Now, are you
Thank you so much.
comfortable with the pay scale?
What's the pay scale gonna be after July 1?
They're negotiating that with the union.
Right
It's
now,
gonna be-
it's 21, 25, 26, 29, but after the first July it changes, right?
Yeah, they're negotiating that. We're
And,
trying to upgrade our salaries.
Yeah.
That's
and the
all.
call time?
On-call time?
Yeah.
Is that time and a half?
So it's $50 on the weekends and $33.33 Monday through Friday
33 a
Monday
day,
through
or
a
from
day.
Monday through a
a
day?
day. And it's a 4-hour minimum
Is it $50 a day for the
for
weekend?
the weekends.
And a 4-hour minimum
On the weekend, yeah.
at time and a half?
At your rate based on your on-call, so it could be higher than time and a half.
Okay.
We calculate in your on-call for that week, when we calculate your overtime. So it's higher.
Okay. See, that's the stuff I'm glad to get for you.
I'm happy to help you.
And I understand that there's gonna be a primary operator, 2 secondary operators, 3 people sharing the call time on a rotating basis.
That's what we were
Basically.
doing now, yeah. So every third week you would pick up the call.
You see, right now I'm on call 24/7, 365. No call time, no overtime. And worse than that, no time off.
And then, yeah, our superintendent's the same way.
Yeah. I've known Jen a lot of years. I think that I have some experience that can help out with his job, as well as I think we can train a lot of the new guys. And it would be nice to start from ground zero.
Yeah. No, we need help in that area. So the salary range is something that is doable for you?
Something that's workable.
And I can't make any promises. I'm not sure what, we have in mind. And I don't know how, our negotiator's gonna make out with our dealing with the union. It is a union position. So right now, you're not union,
Not now.
but you were union before. Where are you?
Yeah, I was union when I was in Lowell, and I was union when I was in
So is that a benefit to you
Union
guys?
and payroll.
Would that be a benefit to you guys, is being a union guy, or, I don't know, I don't know.
Not to me.
Okay.
The only other question that I had was, insurances, what type of insurance do you have here in Raleigh? And, what are the splits? And do you have the, dependent, the, employee plus one plans?
So we're in Meyer too, Blue Cross Blue
Okay, so
Shield.
Blue Cross Blue Shield.
And we're 50/50 here.
52 and a half, isn't it?
Oh, 52 and a half, I'm sorry. 47 and a half for you. I'm sorry, I was just thinking about something else. Thank you, Stu.
Yeah.
And then we offer a dental plan,
Mhm.
and of course
Now,
Essex
Is
County.
it either a single plan or a family plan?
For the dental,
No, for, the Blue Cross Blue
right,
Shield.
it's single or family, yeah.
Okay.
So they have the plus one. Is that what you were asking?
Do they have the
No,
plus one?
No.
Neither did Georgetown. Groveland, we had the plus one, but they've now gone to the state, insurance plan over there.
Oh, really?
See how it works out for them after a while.
Right, right, everybody's looking to
Everybody's
save
kind of
money.
looking at, what the first ones are doing,
Mhm.
see how it works out. I understand the plants online, they come online sometime in the spring.
Next spring.
Um,
Where do you live, Glenn?
They'll be using, Merrimack,
Merrimack, Mass?
yeah. About 23 minutes, depending on the lights.
Um, What kind of, what, you know, the only question I can ask you is, I'm wondering, you know, you have such a prestigious position right now with Georgetown. Why would, you know, you want to step down? It's obviously gonna be a pay decrease. You just wanna get back to the
Probably not-
nitty gritty?
Probably not a whole lot once you add in, overtime and call time,
Yeah.
but, yeah. I
Wanna
want,
get-
I wanna get back into doing something instead of pushing papers.
I know the feeling. Tonight, we're just, you know, doing preliminary screening. We hope to make a decision in the next week or so, you know,
Okay,
may call you in for a second interview.
all right.
It may be, you know, something more, maybe informal, I don't know if that's allowed. Maybe one at a time in the department here. John Reza is gonna be coming back, hopefully in, you know, the beginning of June. We wanna get him into this loop as far as making a decision. And so, you know, is that gonna fit your needs, your time needs, or?
Yeah, I don't have a schedule yet.
Okay. I really appreciate you coming
My
in.
real schedule is, first week of July, I'm taking vacation. So do you want me to start the 15th? That's all right.
Okay. Okay. No, we really appreciate your interest.
Thank
Really
you.
appreciate it. So, thank you for coming in tonight. Do you guys have any more questions?
No, I don't.
I will.
Okay.
Thanks, Glenn.
I know you've already talked to some of my references.
Kinda hard not to.
I asked. I actually put him down as a reference on the new one, it's not on the old one. I spent 8 years with Billy.
In fact, he was the one that called me and told me that you were going in.
He called me, said you had called him. Okay,
Thanks,
thank you.
Thanks for coming up.
Thanks,
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
for coming in.
Thanks, Glenn.
thank you.
Thank you.
See you later.
Mm.
All right, man. Spaghetti,
Okay, so is our next candidate here?
That's it for tonight.
Peter King is,
Oh, so Peter King did call me.
he's the guy that can't,
He can't come
He's
on
working.
Tuesday nights. So if you want to interview him, you have to give me some other times.
okay. It would mean us having a meeting, not on a Tuesday night. Did he say what times he would be available, when he can come in for a,
Well, it would
Sit
be
down.
evening, it would be evening, obviously. I didn't get into the details.
I realize I'm the guy that said we should have a meeting the same night every week. But for this one time, could we have it the next Wednesday so this gentleman can come in?
well, we'll have to find out if he's available on Wednesday nights. He works nights, right? Some nights?
Yeah,
Okay.
so I'll have to give him a
We'll
call.
have to find out still.
All right,
You know, so they either be like, it could be a Friday night, I don't know.
all right.
Let's check.
Let
I'll
us know.
check with him
with him.
tomorrow, and then I'll post the meeting for when he's available next week,
Okay,
all right?
that sounds like a plan.
Okay?
Um,
And I think that's all the applicants that I had at this point that's on the list.
Okay, so we still have to do his interview, and then Mr. Hubby's interview.
So I'll schedule Jerry's for June 25th.
We still entertaining candidates too for these positions?
They're open until filled, right, so yes.
Okay. All right, so next item. Occupancy permit for 28 Cindy Lane. New residential and commercial structures. So this is a occupancy permit. I guess they're well on. The building inspector is the last person to sign off. There's a series of reviews and signatures of the, for the water department. John Reza would normally sign this. So did we looked at, you know, was this thing installed and everything's operational and everything's okay with the plumbing inspector?
Sure. I think, yeah, the
Plumbing
plumbing
inspector
inspector, did he
signed
sign?
off on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so I guess I'll need a motion for this, the chairman to sign on behalf of the,
I'll make that motion on behalf of the superintendent.
No, second it.
all in favor?
All right.
My watch is wrong, that's why I'm getting all messed up here. So today's the 28th, right?
Still.
It is.
All right, so that's done. National Grid removal of gas line, well number 2.
Okay, so John Sikora called me around 4 o'clock today. He's going to be meeting with National Grid tomorrow to find out if this was an abandoned gas line or they're bringing in a new one. So unfortunately, I don't have an update on it right now. That's all I know about it. I learned about the situation from the Concom. So nobody from National Grid came here to ask us about it.
So we don't even know if it's a gas line to our facility or not?
It is on well 2. It is on our property. So I don't.
Well, it's on our property, but is it related to the well head? We don't
John
know.
Sikora offered to go out and find out what's going on.
Okay,
Because we need gas there, they can't disconnect us.
Okay.
We need gas to our wells, so, he offered to do it and I took him up on it. So tomorrow we'll find out, and I'll bring it back to you next week, what's going on. Unless there's an emergency, Tim, I'll get a hold of you tomorrow.
okay. On hold, right?
Yeah, that's all I can tell you. I just want to make you aware of what's going on.
All right. Signed DEP Consumer Confidence Report. You want to comment on this, Laura?
So this is our certification that we did what we were told to do. And if you sign this tonight, I will send the 5 copies to those addresses attached. And a copy goes to DEP, and then to the environmental, that last sheet there, Tim,
Yeah.
is EPA.
Okay.
So I will get all the copies where they need to go if you assign this tonight. This is part of our consent order that was under the deadline, and here we are.
Once again, John Reza, our superintendent, one normally would sign this, right?
Right.
And review this. Did he look at this at all? Do you have any comments?
No,
Or just something that,
no, this is something I've done in the last 30 days.
okay. And I've looked at it and I don't see a problem with signing it. I didn't see a problem with the superintendent signing, so I need a motion.
I'll make a motion that Chairman Tim Toomey signs the consent order.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, next order of business.
We have 5 new services.
Where's Oakwood Circle? I never heard of that one.
That's Georgia Locus.
Oh, off Wild Pastures.
Yeah, so he's, and he has one in there for wild pasture too. Yeah. So actually there's 6, there was one that was added today. So there's 6 of them there, for you to sign.
So these are the applications, and they've given their fees?
They gave us the first $3,000 fee, and I will pass it on to our primary operator to continue to work on this. We'll set up all the meter horns and all the
Has Paul looked at these?
No, because we're waiting for the superintendent to approve it.
Are all these on town property?
These are single-family houses. None of them are on town property.
Are they within the bounds of Raleigh?
Oh, I'm sorry, yes. Yeah, of course. None of them in Newbury.
Okay, so there are 5 of them, 27 Raleigh Country Club Road, units 23 and 24, is it?
So each unit will have its own meter set up.
23-4, is that?
Yeah, we're working on all the 911 numbering, so.
Okay, and then there's Raleigh Country Club, unit number 24.
Yeah,
No,
So 23, 24, 37 Oak Ledge Circle,
yeah, it was on the cover sheet.
35 Oak Ledge Circle, lot number 16,
no, each
33
one,
Oak Ledge Circle, number 17, and 58 Wild Pasture Lane.
each one of those condos come up with 3,000, or is it?
Yes, so each one of them is a service.
Yeah.
So those, they're their own water main go, their own water.
So if there's two,
So there's no sub-metering in these at all.
Okay.
so if there's two
Yep, 2 meters.
things, so it's 6 going into each
Yeah,
place.
exactly.
Okay, so superintendent's approval
Right.
on all
is where-
5 of them?
Is where we need those signed tonight. And then I'll pass it on to Paul and Rob.
So you received 3,000 on 33 Oak Ledge Circle and 35 Oak Ledge Circle. You haven't received the funds on the other one?
Oh, I did, I'm sorry, I didn't put them down.
37 Oak Ledge Circle. Okay, the only one, the top one doesn't have
You know why
58.
that was today? I was just doing that today, Tim. I received the check today.
Well, you got the check?
They're all paid, yeah. Yeah. You can put today's date in.
3,000,
Yep. Sorry about that.
and then today's date is again?
28.
All right, so do I have a motion that allows me to sign these applications?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Am I wrong, are there 6 now?
Yes.
Okay,
He just came in today, Tim.
okay.
I edited,
I thought I was losing my mind, Laura.
no, I thought I updated the cover sheet to reflect that, but remember me, I'm doing 20 people's jobs. So, I'm trying.
Okay, so there's 6.
Yes, there was 5, and then I got one more today.
Okay.
Wild Pasture came in today.
Okay. All right, old business, Ann Rubin abatement.
I thought we decided to kind of hold a little bit earlier. We talked about.
Yeah, and then Keys abatements on hold. Outstanding bills of Seacoast Lock and Safe. That was something I was gonna address this week, I didn't get around to it. I still am looking at it. Laura has informed me that I need to address this sooner rather than later for our budget requirements for this year. My only feeling of discomfort is that the lock sets are the more sophisticated locks I've ever seen. And I don't know if that's what really called for our needs at that time, but it stems from the same lock sets that we had here for the buildings out back or and other facilities. So you wanted to keep things consistent. So I don't know how you folks feel. I think it's,
Well, they had it so there was one key fit like here in different pump stations, correct?
no, that's not what happened. Okay.
Yeah, so the keys, one of the bills is the master key.
Do you have a key you can show, well,
Yeah, oh,
Roy, you
sure,
got a key? You got a key?
sure.
Stu, you got a key too?
Yes. This one here,
Yeah, when's the last time you've seen a key like that?
never saw one before I got that one.
Stu?
Town hall there, yeah, and my church. Find it here.
I never had a church key, so.
That's the key to my church, and that's the key to this place. Same thing. It's supposed to be keys that cannot be duplicated, if you can believe that. Quite expensive.
I don't know much about keys and lock sets, other than the fact that it's cost us a fortune for these locks. To have these kind of locks with us. So, I want to get some feedback from you folks. The bill at hand is, we get two bills. One that stems from last fall, when he came in and provided us, the locking mechanisms for the new building, which is under that thing we're trying to resolve as far as the back building,
So, is that this bill here?
the 695 is probably that. We had them come in on an emergency basis back on this here,
This must have been this one here.
on 118, to do, I thought it was supposed to be 4 locks, but he's got 6 in here.
Right.
I thought it was just,
So you
This
have
door,
this
yeah.
there and the hall door and those 2 offices over there.
Okay, so,
Mr. Chairman, I'll abstain from anything to do with this because I wasn't here. Then let's go back to last fall, part of it.
yeah. This guy wants his money.
oh, you're gonna go over and see him and talk to him?
I tried that once. He's just doing emails now.
So what do you want to do?
I don't know. I don't know what I want to do. To be honest about it. I'm not happy with $1,700.
I realize that, I'm not either.
Now, what should this have cost?
I don't know.
So do we need keys this sophisticated to lock our files? It's a non-duplicating fit key, so can't duplicate this keys.
So this,
But, let's take a look at the key. Can you duplicate that?
That says right on it, too.
Well, a regular key says do not duplicate on it too, so got a lot less money. So that's what my problem is.
Well, the thing is that's what all these locks have, the outside doors, correct?
So these are the same keys you've had forever.
Since I've been here,
Yeah, so how many years, Roy?
in the 4th year.
It wasn't anything new, so you at some point paid this price for these keys.
Well, the keys that we got before were,
Well, you have 33 of them. When I look them up, I'm going to be working with Maria on the key policy.
yeah,
When I started, Tim, my key number was 33. There's only 7 of us that work here. So there's a lot of keys that are distributed to many people for.
Well, the fire department,
For-
police department,
Yeah,
Oh,
so
that-
we're gonna, when Maria starts, it's gonna be one of the projects, you know, gonna take an inventory, try to round up the keys. Scott had key number 3, so Stu has key number 3. I don't know what number you have. So right on your key, there's a number on it.
12.
You have number 12.
Well, I guess first of all,
So that's why the keys, I think, are very sophisticated here, because we have a lot of things that key opens up.
yeah, but that one key, how
Can
many
open
doors,
up everything, every single thing.
even the pump houses?
Wells, yeah.
Do you guys wanna look into it and then we'll bring it up at the next meeting? To see how comfortable you are with the pricing? Because I'm not comfortable with the
I'm
pricing.
not comfortable with the price, but I mean, I don't know who else we call or,
I don't
I
know,
would
think
bring
about
it
it,
up.
let's bring it up again in the next meeting.
okay.
Because, you know, I'm the big hang-up now, you know? So. I mean, I can understand, expensive key sets, but, you know, I'm just floored with the price.
But I mean, actually, that funny looking key, the only one of those locks you put in is one out in the garage, right?
So we have I have 2, one for the business office, so,
Yeah, but yours isn't like that, right?
yes.
Oh, it is, oh, okay.
So, you know, Weston Sampson, or a private company comes in, they only get a key for what they need. They don't get keys to get into any of the offices. And that was a policy that you set when we started the key policy. So we're gonna start looking at the keys.
So your one key will open up your doors and every other door in this place.
I have 2 keys, so I walk around with 2 of those keys.
So you get
Plus-
2 of those keys.
Plus keys for the well, so like if you look at my keychain, I have 9 keys. So, you know, for gates and different things that I have to open up. in
So what
an
kind of
emergency.
keys do we have for the well house? Are they just like this?
The well house, that key will open up the well house. The key that you have, you can go to any well and open up.
I don't have a key.
You don't have a key, Tim?
I don't want one.
I didn't know that. See, that's part of the key policy. I didn't know that you didn't have one. You should have
I
one.
shouldn't have told you that.
Okay. Well, that's another, it's a, you know, this is stuff I should know who has keys.
I don't have a key, so.
But I don't have time.
But why would I need one? I don't know.
Well, if we have an emergency,
I can call the guy up and say, you know, the guy's up and say, you know, Rob or whoever's on call.
oh, so Rob hasn't, well, this is something we've talked about. You know, Rob's at the well and he falls. The door slams and it's locked. His page is gonna go off.
Oh, my
And
God.
they're gonna call me out. So you need to get in. You need to get in. I don't know, I did call Seacoast around 4 o'clock, Tim.
Yeah.
I left a message. There was nobody there to talk to about your question.
Yeah. We'll
Um,
try 7 o'clock tomorrow. He said he's in at 7.
I can do that. I'm here at 7.
Okay. Okay, so why don't we just leave it like this? Roy, can you do some homework about keys and,
I mean, I don't know who to call, but
we gotta make a decision on this
Yeah.
one, okay? So, I don't wanna be the only one doing the research on this.
no, I don't mind helping out.
All right, so
But
that's,
this other one, I mean.
table that till next meeting,
Okay.
and then Roy will do some homework, and I'll do some further homework, and I'll maybe get a chance to talk to this gentleman. Administrative assistant, when is she coming on board?
So she starts Monday, June 3rd.
Yeah.
And I have jury duty. So I won't know until Friday at 3 o'clock when I have to call. But I have to go to Lawrence to Superior Court. My assumption is I'm gonna have to go. So,
You want us to give you a note?
Yeah, we try that. But I wanted to know if Marie could come in, or if you wanted Maria to go to town hall and then go home and keep the office closed for the day.
No, I think that's a good idea to have Marie here.
Okay,
Maybe she can get connected with Marie, just to get, you know, passing. I know which Marie's been putting up for the last 20 years.
okay. So I'll have Marie here on Monday also,
Yeah.
and, you know, maybe I won't get called.
Yeah. And then,
Lawrence usually does.
Yeah,
Usually,
and
know that.
yeah,
that's
if
been
you
my
don't get
experience.
called and you come
Then
back
I'll
to
be
work.
here, so.
Yeah,
but
then
I
it'd be
won't,
nice that she would, you know, have the opportunity to spend some time with Marie too, since she's had so many years' experience here. So.
Right. So I did set up her computer, I'm working on passwords right now.
Okay.
So when you saw Jarrett from PRS, that's what he was doing here.
Okay.
We did have, the computer that we had crashed, so we're down one right now. So I took Ralph's old computer and gave it to Maria. No, I gave Rob's computer to Maria and Ralph's computer to Rob because it had all the meters reading software on it. So we
Okay.
had some computer issues this week. Just want to give you a heads up on that. But I think we worked it out.
Anything else?
Yeah, the water van.
So that's just on there waiting for whatever.
We don't need it yet. We do.
Okay, so we have a motion to conclude the meeting at 8:25.
I'll make that motion. We adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?